This is what it looks like on a Saturday night when you're putting in work. What is going on, savages? In this video, I want to talk about what you're not changing is what you are choosing. See, at the end of the day, what we do is the result that we get in our life. The habits that you have and the things that you're doing are what you're choosing to be able to do. It's the same thing with the things that you aren't changing right now. You're by default choosing to be able to get in your life. See, if you are prioritizing addictions, old habits, vices, and you are doing those things on a daily basis, you are choosing those things by default because you are taking the action and you're doing it. If you're choosing that, you're giving up positivity. If you're choosing drugs, alcohol, overeating, bad foods, you're choosing unhealthy. If you are doing things right now that you know you shouldn't be doing and you're still doing them, you're choosing that over choosing what you could be doing, the polar opposite. See, everything in the universe is canceled out by good and evil, yin and yang. So there's only two things that you can choose, either positivity or negativity, either good things or bad things. You can't be in the middle, bro. The reason why you're in the middle and you're stuck is because you choose your old identity more than you choose your new identity. You choose your current situation more than you change your future situation. You choose your old identity and your old habits and the things that are keeping you stuck more than choosing the good actions and the good habits that you need to be able to get a better life. Whether a life that you're healthier, happier, more fulfilled, have a more successful business, have a better physical body. By default, you only have two things that you can choose from right now. So, what you're not changing in your life right now is by a default of what you're choosing. See, your reality, your life, and the simulation that you live in that's completely different to my reality right now, and what's different from your reality is you created it by your thoughts, by your habits, by your actions, and by your decisions that you either made or that you didn't make, which reinforces your current paradigm. A paradigm is your thoughts, your habits, your decision, and your current life, the current cycle, and the perpetual cycle that you are living in right now. And we all are in a different cycle of a pendulum, okay? How you change that pendulum is by changing your self-identity, your thoughts, your habits, your actions to reinforce the result. I just literally gave you the sauce to attract and manifest everything that you want in life by doing that, right? And that is the principle of literally changing and getting, whether you want more money, you want more success, you want more wealth, you want more freedom, you want a more successful business, you want a more successful body. That is the law of attraction, right? And there's multiple things that you have to do that to be able to attract your current reality and quantum leap into a different paradigm that you're living in right now. I'm not saying you're jumping into a different future, but what I am saying is yes, you are, because you're literally recreating all of those things that's different than your reality right now to get to that reality, okay? And that's what I did multiple times in my life, right? So when I first got started on just this journey of self-development and becoming an entrepreneur and all that kind of stuff, when I started creating myself, I came from being homeschooled my entire life, Nick, never stepping foot in school. I literally didn't even do high school, okay? So worse than a college dropout. I mean, a high school dropout, right? And I did traditional self-education. So like my parents believed in self-education. They didn't force me to be able to finish, high school and do that and all that kind of stuff. And I had a different upbringing than most people and everything like that. I'm not going to get too far into that. But what I did do was self-education. What I did do was books, reading, skill sets. My dad was an entrepreneur in sales my entire life. I literally learned so many things from him, from the subconscious being of growing up with him, being in sales, being in entrepreneurship, running teams, doing all that kind of stuff, phone calls, sales calls in the car, all that kind of stuff, right? So I was literally around that, and I started self-education. So I started learning, reading personal development, watching Zig Ziglar, Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, like all these self-help, self-development ways of thinking, right? So I started getting into that, and I started getting into that around 18 years old. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go all into this. And self-education, formal education can make you a living, and self-education can make you a fortune, right? When I learned that from Jim Rohn, I was like, dude, I'm doing this. I'm going all in. I'm going to learn skill sets. I'm going to get skill sets. I'm going to solve problems, and I'm going to become an entrepreneur. And I'm on the route of personal development and making myself into an asset. And that's what I did, right? So going from that, and at 18 years old, my parents moved to Hawaii because they started a timeshare exit business. And I basically was like, you know what, I'm going to stay back. I'm going to go on my own. My parents had like a hard time and everything like that. And basically from 18 to 20, I let them use my credit, and basically they started their credit. We lived off of our credit and everything like that. And then they basically, kind of didn't pay it off. And then I ended up having no credit. So I was literally starting, 19, 20, no credit, was living out of my car, was trying to figure stuff out, sleeping at one of my best friend's house, and hanging out with girls and partying and hanging out with girls and having relationships, and then sleeping at their houses and everything like that. And then I did that, and led me to my wife right now and all that kind of stuff. And I kind of just like made do with my situation, but I was literally living on couches and out of my car while I was working on myself, personal development, working out, and starting my journey and everything, right? But fast forward, I started getting a job, started working valet jobs, got into the hospitality business, got into valet, and started earning pretty good money, working 6 days a week from, Monday through Saturday, 6 a.m. shift all the way till 2 to 3 p.m. every single day, hustling, making cash, hospitality business, valet, all that kind of stuff, right? And by this time, I was literally like, my goal is to become the best version of myself, get the body, start an online training business, become a personal trainer online, build a following, and be able to do that, right? So I started at that around, this was 20, so 2 years, built myself, and I started getting on social media. I think it was till like 2014, right? And I started doing that, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna build a following and everything like that. I was working the valet job. 21, I had my daughter, and I was like, I got to really figure this out, right? I'm doing this. I'm working out every single day. I'm going to 6 to 2 p.m. every single day, like valet shift, prepping my meals, eating my meals throughout the day, studying social media, personal development, going through YouTube, trying to figure stuff out, studying marketing, sales, and all that kind of stuff. And then I started and then working out and then filming content every single day at the gym, like I'm doing now 10 years later. Every single night, documenting what I'm doing, all that kind of stuff, posting on the internet, and just putting in work. Same routine. Literally would end the routine at 10 o'clock at night. From the gym, we would go from 7 to 9 o'clock, get home, all that kind of stuff, eat, and then I'd prepare all my meals for the next day. And I did that every single day, all the way for 4 years. Did that for 4 years while working a job until I started building a following and got hundreds of thousands of followers and was getting the results, but did not make money yet because I was not valuable enough, besides paying content, to be able to become that coach that gets people successful, because I was still on the journey of developing myself. And I was getting results throughout the way with marketing and sales and providing value, but I was still making myself better. So consistently making myself better and doing that led me down into obviously getting the skill sets to be able to turn and start a business to get leads and customers, and then be able to understand sales and marketing and actually having a structured business and be able to do that, right? And then that led me into obviously honing in and getting those skill sets while building my body, while getting people results, while starting a business. And then I did that for 4 years. And then everything that I've been working for literally became an entrepreneur overnight, and launched the business and launched the coaching program. And literally, I remember it, the month before 2018 and 2019, literally launched my business. And that month was the last month that I quit my job, because within that a month of launching my business and then taking 2 weeks off because I had my daughter, I started my business. In the first month of starting my business, getting everything, acquiring all the skill set, giving value, building a brand, building a following, giving value for years, I made $60,000 my first month in my coaching business, because I became the person that was valuable enough to be able to build and give value over time, to build trust and build a following and get an asset, and to be able to give value from that in exchange of energy and money to be able to get someone to where they want to be. But that would have never happened if I didn't start personal development and I didn't make myself better over the years of doing and reaping and sowing and then reaping. See, most of you guys want a result right now in your body, right away. Most of you guys want more money right away. Most of you guys want to just post on social media and then start a business because you believe that you're valuable right now. But I hate to be the bearer of bad news. You're gonna have to go through a journey of making yourself valuable to be able to get a result of being and doing and having. Because if you don't put in the reps, the result of the reality that you're trying to choose and change is never going to be quantum leaped and attracted for you to be able to jump into a whole new reality. See, by everything on my story that I just told you right now, I literally made my reality of years of doing and sowing the seeds and growing and learning and personal development and failing and getting wins and lessons and all that kind of stuff and getting results, until that changed and showed up in my reality from what I became, what I did, and what I have. And if you want the same, you have to do the exact same thing. If you want to change your paradigm, if you want to change the way you wake up, the way that you think, if you want to change the way that you look and the way that you feel, if you want to change on the life of design that you want to be able to create, you have to first create it inside your thoughts with a vision. And then you have to change your identity of who the person you need to become to be able to get to that vision. And then you have to lay down the habits and principles that you need to do and the actions that you need to take to be able to get that vision and that result into your life. And that's it. And that's all I continue to do. And that's all that I continue to teach. And that's all I continue to refine. And that's all that I continue to do, because everything that I do is based on becoming the version that I need to be able to do where I need to be able to go. And you just do that through creating yourself and creating yourself and creating yourself. And the vision gets clearer and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then you get to the next goal and the next vision and the next stepping stone and the next thing. And then guess what? You started all the way down here. And then guess what? You build the staircase to be all the way up here. And then you get to where you want to be. And then you do that process over and over again until the day that you die. And you never stop doing it. And that's the secret. And that's the blueprint, that's the strategy, that's what you want to be able to create your reality, to be able to change your situation, to be able to get to where you want to be. You have to understand that that is the process. That is literally the secret. If you read The Secret, that's the secret. And if you understand that in that process that I've given you, it's not a one-part strategy. There's a lot of things that you have to be able to do to be able to get to where you want to be. It's complex. But if you understand the principles and the philosophy, and you understand the paradigm of where you need to be and where you're at, you could start connecting the dots, and then you can get help on actually someone who's been able to do it. Someone's been able to do it in their relationship. Someone's been able to go from a 9-to-5 to owning multiple coaching businesses, to build a personal brand, to get in the best shape of their life from 130 pounds to 185, become one of the biggest online trainers in the world as a natural athlete, become a pro World Natural Bodybuilding Federation pro bodybuilder, and to become a better father from a young kid at 21 years old, and to become a coach that has helped in hundreds of millions of people that have followed me and used my advice and that I've changed and everything like that. There's some wisdom to be able to give there, because I've gotten the results that I wanted first, and all I do is make myself better so I can teach other people. And that's it. It's the truth. You can't change the truth. You just got to know it. It's literally the truth. It's factual. You can't literally change it. It's literally a result that is literally cannot change, because that's what I do and that's what I live, and these are the results that I have in my life, and that's what I exactly did. So I'm sharing you exactly how to be able to do it, right? And that's the process. So in this video, I wanted to give you that wisdom and that value is, if you want to be able to change your reality, it doesn't start outside. It starts inside with who you are, what you do to get to where you want to go. Now contemplate this, think on this, and start making a vision on exactly what I told you to be able to do in this video. And I hope it changed your life. I'll see you in the next video.